In the past couple of weeks, I made a video featuring the strongest TVs fighting in an all-out brawl. Then, I did the same for the speakers. But today things are gonna get even crazier, because now we're gonna look at the best of the best, the camera titans. These monsters have displayed countless feats in their respective shows. The OG Titan camera, for example, is not just a beast in his field, he also has an insane bully count to add to it. Then there's the multiverse camera, who's a raging beast and has some insane tech. We even got the battle armor camera, whose feats pretty much speak for themselves. And of course the zombie camera, with his unique abilities and regenerative properties. Some honorable mentions go to titans like Cam Prime, the Astro camera, and the camera from the Skibidi saga. But due to the length of the video, they'll be sitting this one out. This video will still be very entertaining regardless, because not only are we gonna test their strength, we're also dropping them all in one battlefield. No rules, no backup, just raw throwing hands and massive destruction. But the big question is, who walks out as the strongest camera titan? Well, there's only one way to find out. But before we get into all that crazy stuff, let's first break it down with 1v1 battles. Similar to the TVs, we've also got 4 cameras in total, which leads to 4 matchups if you do the math. Each of these boys gets to throw hands and flex their unique skills. And trust me, things are gonna get real crazy as we move forward. The first matchup we've got here is the Prime OG camera against the Multiverse camera Titan. Now, it's pretty obvious that Dom's universe is multiple times stronger than that of the OG series. But that doesn't make this monster weak in any way. Among all cameras on the list, he's the guy with the highest level of experience. I mean, really, you should see this guy when he fights. Both cameras here have insane physical strength. The Multiverse camera could take on the Counter Titan, managing to even overpower him. Defuk Boom's camera took on G-Man and the Strider, together with the infected speaker, and they still got bodied. Although the Multiverse camera has a rage mode and better tech, he might not find fighting this monster all that fun. However, due to low feats and probably being out of battle for long, the OG camera would eventually lose this fight 70% of the time, leaving Dom's camera with his first win. Moving on, and things get even better because the battle armor camera is up against the zombie from Monster Up. Now, this would be really easy, because when comparing the stats of both sides, the strongest is pretty clear. When it comes to physical strength, the battle armor camera titan takes the crown. Even though the zombie could send massive rocks flying, the virlance camera is just built different. Durability, however, is not even close. The zombie camera takes it. You know zombies and their regeneration. Fighting skills could be quite tricky, but I'm gonna give this to the zombie camera, as the battle armor hasn't done much. If this fight came down to weapons, then things would start to get complicated. The zombie camera has one ultimate weapon up his sleeve, his EMP blast, and that might just be a game changer. Think about it. That thing completely shuts down all electrical stuff around him, and the battle armor might just be affected. You never know, but hey, it's pretty obvious. Virlance camera takes this round. Next, we've got the OG camera fighting against the zombie camera. Based on everything we've mentioned so far, the OG camera is the better fighter here. So the zombie better be ready to get bodied if it comes down to throwing hands. But it wouldn't be all that bad, because the Monster Up camera still has multiple tricks up his sleeve, like regeneration and crazy tech. We shouldn't forget that the OG camera still has to keep his distance to avoid getting infected. The only advantage Boom's camera has is his insane fighting skills and experience. Other than that, the zombie camera has the upper hand. But let me hear your thoughts down there in the comments. However, it's not over, as Dom's camera now has to face the zombie himself. You see, we're gonna be looking at the facts here. The only reason the zombie camera has made it this far is due to his regeneration and EMP core blast. But all these wouldn't really matter when fighting against this monster. Dom's camera has better upgrades, an impressive amount of bully counts, and crazy physical strength. So even if the EMP shuts down most of his tech, he won't be completely defenseless. Plus, the rage mode doesn't seem like it needs tech anyway, just raw physical strength and fighting skill. Dom's camera would be walking out of that ring with an 80% chance of victory. Moving on, now it's Virlance camera up against the OG camera. Damn, this battle would be totally one-sided, because seriously, it's the battle armor we're talking about here. No matter how hard the OG camera tries, and no matter the amount of experience he has stacked up, it just wouldn't be enough to bring down this monster. The battle armor camera has the rocket hammer, blasters that could one-tap mutants, and to top it all off, he even has a death stare. all of which would end this battle in a couple of minutes. That brings us to our final 1v1 matchup, the Battle Armor camera against the Multiverse camera Titan. Both of these guys are the best in their field. They both crush it when it comes to physical strength and durability. Energy reserves would be kinda relative because that's gonna come in handy. I mean, really, Dom's camera could completely leave Pennywise bald, and the Battle Armor also destroyed the undead mutant from the inside out. But I'm leaning toward Dom's camera here, as his feats are consistent. When it comes to fighting skill, the Multiverse has the upper hand, no question. However, when the Rage mode and Battle Armor potential get added to the mix, things take a dark turn. The Battle Armor hits a lot harder than Rage mode, and if it comes down to it, the Death Stare would do a lot of damage. Overall, I'm giving this win to the Battle Armor camera, because he's got a 60% chance. Alright, no more warm-ups. It's time for the ultimate camera Titan showdown. 4 monsters enter the battlefield, each one armed to the teeth and ready to go. So the battle begins, and the OG camera wastes no time, charging in head first. He's the veteran, and his first target is none other than the zombie camera. So they both clash fists. And of course, this wouldn't be a fair fight, as the OG camera would be having a field day with the guy. But Dom's camera just had to step in, using his energy blasters in an attempt to take both of them down at once. But we all know that's not gonna do much. As the explosion clears, Dom's camera gets sucked in by the OG using the gravity gun, leaving our guy no choice but to completely join the fight. The zombie camera is then sent flying and sees the Battle Armor just standing there, wondering why he hasn't joined the fight. That's why he attacks him, and the fight drags on, with everyone bringing out their best weapons. The Battle Armor whips out his rocket hammer, and Dom's camera utilizes his shield. But that's until the zombie camera pops out the EMP blast, and boom! In an instant, every electrical system around him completely shuts down. The Battle Armor's upgrades glitch for a moment. Even OG's weapons struggle, and it seems like the zombie has the upper hand. So he goes for the strongest in the room, the Battle Armor camera, ready to infect him. But here's where things go south. The Battle Armor stabilizes at just the right moment, and the zombie happens to be at close distance. You know what that means, right? Bro gets hit with a death stare, and the rest is history. 1 down, 2 to go. Seeing this, every other camera decides to go all out. The OG launches himself at the Battle Armor, dealing crazy damage, and Dom's camera unleashes his Rage mode, charging right back into the fight. The arena is practically getting destroyed at this point. However, amidst the chaos, every single fighter is almost at their limit. The OG camera has been knocked out due to the insane amount of damage these two can inflict, leaving just 2 Titans standing. Now comes the big finale, virlance camera Titan versus Skibidi multiverse camera. Well, just like the previous 1v1 clash, this wouldn't be any different. Dom's camera would eventually get put in a box, leaving just the Battle Armor camera with the victory. Check out this video to see what happens if the strongest Skibidi fandom Titans went up against a nuclear bomb.